there, I'm Mike.
And I'm Penny.
And thank you very much for joining us for part 2 of our A Window on the World unit for this month. The topic we are looking at this month is summed up in the title of our article. Don't be too positive about being positive.
Or, in other words, being hopeful and thinking that the best will happen is good, but bad things will still happen sometimes.
That's it. It's sort of like how I know that no one will probably try to break into my house while I'm at work today. I know that. But I will still lock the door every time I leave. It is a pretty good and safe world out there, but that shouldn't make us ignore that there are some dangers out there. So don't be too afraid of them, but also don't pretend that they don't exist.
Right, and in today's article, we'll be looking at some of the real dangers of too much positive thinking. First, though, we have some new vocabulary words to learn about, and then we'll be back to start reading. 好，课文提到过度正面思考对这个世界是不利的。以旅行来说，我们大多数人都不怕坐飞机或是开车，那是因为有安全守则，而那些守则是专业人士规划出来的结果。他们在规划的时候就必须设想最糟糕的情况，然后要拒绝采用正面思考和想法。同学们想想看，要是他们用正面思考来规划这些守则，认为不会有坏事发生，哇，这样后果应该不堪设想。我们先来看3个单字。刚刚说到多数人不怕坐飞机或是开车，用到的单字是 fear。fear 它就表示害怕或是恐惧，那它在课文里面是当动词用。例如 Everyone feared and hated the cruel king。Everyone feared and hated the cruel king. 每个人都很害怕，也很讨厌那位残忍的国王。下一个单字 result，result， 它在课文里面是当名词，就表示结果，像是 The election results were surprising. The election results were surprising. 选举结果出乎意料，让人觉得很惊讶。好，第3个单字 reject。reject 它表示拒绝，是一个动词。reject 一般是用来表达拒绝考虑啊，否决某事物，那也可以用来表达拒绝某人，拒绝某人的爱意，像是 He wanted to ask Jenny out on a date, but he was afraid of being rejected. He wanted to ask Jenny out on a date, but he was afraid of being rejected. 他想要约 Jenny 去约会，但又怕被拒绝。好，课文最后提到，我们当然可以在某些时间和场合来进行正面思考，但也应该要接受坏事发生的可能性。这样一来呢，当坏事真的发生，我们才学会继续往前走。那这边用到单字 forward，forward 就表示向前的、往前的，它是一个副词，像是 Please take a step forward。Please take a step forward 就是说，请往前走一步。好，现在已经看完单字例句，我们来看课文吧。
Too much positive thinking isn't good for the world either. Take how we travel, for example. Most of us don't fear flying in planes or driving in cars. That's because there are safety rules. Those rules are the results of special people. They reject positive thoughts and ideas. Instead, they think the worst will happen. Just imagine if they didn't do that.
Explanation 1.
Okay, so the article for today begins sort of where we left off yesterday by talking about the dangers of too much positive thinking. The first sentence reads, Too much positive thinking isn't good for the world either. So it might not be good for us as individual people, and it also might not be good for the whole world. Interesting. We'll learn more about this idea after Daphne tells us all about today's first grammar point.
大家好，我是 Daphne。今天的第一则文法是 A isn't good for B either， 意思是 A 对 B 也不好。注意句尾的 either 在这里是副词，意思是也不，使用的时候要搭配否定句， 而且要放在句子的尾巴，用来表示两个类似的负面情况。例如 Sugar isn't good for your teeth and it isn't good for your brain either. 糖对你的牙齿不好，对你的头脑也不好。句子中糖对牙齿不好以及对头脑不好是两个类似的负面情况，所以我们要用 either 也不来表示。
And as we keep reading, we get an example of how too much positive thinking might be bad for the world. The next sentence tells us, take how we travel, for example. Well, we'll get to that example after our second grammar point.
第二则文法是 take 加名词加上 for example， 意思是以点点点为例。这是一句省略句，省略字祈使句。Let's take 加名词加 for example， 让我们以点点点为例。Take 在这里是及物动词拿的意思，介系词 for 是当做，名词 example 是例子范例，合在一起 take 加名词加上 for example 就是拿点点点当做例子，这是一句完整的句子哦。例如 Some passwords are easy to guess. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for example. 有些密码很容易猜到，比方说1、2、3、4、5。
So now we can get to the example of how too much positive thinking can make travel dangerous. We read, most of us don't fear flying in planes or driving in cars. Well, sure, there are accidents occasionally, but most of us will travel for thousands and thousands of kilometers by plane or by car and will never have a serious problem.
And why is that? The article tells us that's because there are safety rules. Rules like seatbelt laws, safety tests for planes and cars, and investigations when accidents do unfortunately happen. Not a lot of wishful thinking there, just good hard work to make things safer.
That's it. And who made all of this happen? We read, those rules are the results of special people. They reject positive thoughts and ideas. So they aren't just sitting around and thinking and wishing positive thoughts.
刚刚读到我们多数的人都不怕坐飞机或是开车嘛，这是因为有安全守则，像是我们有绑安全带的法规啊，有机械的安全测试啊，还有要是不幸有意外发生，可能就会有调查程序等等的。那我们顺便帮同学补充几个单字哦。Unfortunately， 它是拼作 unfortunately， 这个字可以用来表达不幸地或是遗憾地。还有我们刚刚用到 investigation， 它是拼作 investigation， 这个字可以用来表达调查、侦查或是研究。好，课文说到安全守则是专业人士规划的结果，这并不是某些人他们一厢情愿自己在那边写高兴的，而是那些专业人士他们拒绝采用正面的思考和想法。那这边再帮同学们补充，要怎么表达一厢情愿呢？好，我们一般会用 wishful thinking 来表达一厢情愿的想法。So, what are they doing instead? The article tells us, instead, they think the worst will happen. Just imagine if they didn't.
Yeah, there would be a lot more accidents. I mean, what if there was a plane crash and then someone from the government came on TV and said, well, let's just all really, really hope that won't happen again, and maybe it won't. Would you feel safe if that's all they did? I know I wouldn't.
I'd probably just start walking everywhere.
Yeah, I think I'd just stay home and I'd hope that a plane didn't fall on my head. Okay, folks, that brings us to our first break. Let's pause here and then we'll be back to finish off our article for today.
There's a time and place for positive thinking. However, we should also accept that bad things may happen. That way, we can learn to move forward when they do.
information too.
Welcome back. We were just reading how plane and car travel are much safer now than they ever were because of people working hard to make them safer. They haven't just been hoping for the best all these years. No, they've been studying accidents, learning from their mistakes, and making things safer for everyone. It was hard work that did this, not just positive thinking.
But does that mean that positive thinking is bad or dangerous all the time? Well, no, of course not. As we get to the end of our article, we read, there's a time and a place for positive thinking. However, we should also accept that bad things happen. It's not a perfect world out there after all.
Exactly. And it's important to learn and accept that bad things sometimes happen because that way we can learn and move forward when we do. And we won't feel that everything is our fault or that there is nothing we can do to make things better. It's a very good point.
Indeed. Okay, we're almost done for today, but we still have one final grammar point that needs looking at. Let's check that out and then it will be break time.
第三则文法是 that way， 意思是那样一来，为口语表达法，省略字副词片语 in that way。介系词 in 是用的意思 ，that 是形容词那的意思 ，way 则是名词方法，合在一起 in that way， 字面就是以那样的方法，口语中则省略为 that way。也就是那样一来，例如 Let's stop here. That way we can look at the map. 在这里停车，那样一来我们才能看地图。
Okay, that's it for today. We have one more day to go in our A Window on the World unit, and tomorrow it's time for us to read a dialogue. Please do come back to join us for that. Until then, bye-bye.
Don't be too positive about being positive.
Too much positive thinking isn't good for the world either. Take how we travel, for example. Most of us don't fear flying in planes or driving in cars. That's because there are safety rules. Those rules are the results of special people. They reject positive thoughts and ideas. Instead, they think the worst will happen. Just imagine if they didn't do that. There's a time and place for positive thinking. However, we should also accept that bad things may happen. That way, we can learn to move forward when they do.
直接拒绝别人的5个实用句。你要不要做今天的开头？要不要
I'm good.
好，又是我 ，Fine. OK, whatever. 欢迎来到就爱讲英文，我是 Holly。
I'm Shane. 你不是被拒绝，对不对
Yeah, 今天的主题就是直接拒绝人家的实用句哈。
Yeah. It's very useful, right?
Whatever.
Very useful.
Anyway, 所以刚刚我问他说要不要做开头，他说 I'm good.
I'm good.
真的是你很好吗？
其实也是，我想。
No， 不要相信他。
I'm good 就是感觉说我已经很好，我不需要。
Yeah，
感觉说也不需要。
Yeah， 就是我很好，你就不要再烦我了。
对 ，I'm good。
还有什么？有一个比较直接的讲法。
I'm not interested。
没有兴趣，我们没有兴趣。
I'm not interested。
Yeah。
可是这个感觉就是不是跟朋友。
Yeah。
感觉就是一个 salesman， 就是跟
OK，
I'm not interested。
Yeah， 可能如果是朋友间就比较不会用这一句话，就比较不熟的人才会用。
对
，Yeah，
对。
那假如今天就是，
我觉得 I don't have time 也是。
I don't have time 也是吗？就是我没有时间，我在赶时间。
对。可是跟你的朋友，你不太会说I don't have time，
这样有点敷衍了。
对，
跟朋友会做敷衍，
会很生气，其实。
对，
你可以帮我吗 ？I don't have time。怎么样？
超敷衍，
很夸张。
Yeah， 还有另外一个比较强烈的，
我就是 No way，No way，
休想。 完全不要。
No way.
No way.
No way.
Yeah， 就是一点机会都没有的那一种嘛。
对。只有一点就是这个感觉是，I'd rather not.
OK， 我宁愿不要，就是有选择的话，我就不想要做这件事情。
对，所以这个是比较没那么的直接，就是
OK，
I'd rather not.
有一点委婉，可是其实也没
其实
有。人家跟你讲就是不要。
对，就是我非常不想要。对 ，OK， all right, live action.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, live action. Hi, can you spare a few minutes to answer a few questions?
I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
It'll only take a couple of minutes. It's for a good cause, to help children.
I don't have time. I'm already late for a date.
You can go on a date with me instead. I'll treat you to lunch if you answer my questions.
I'm good.
Number 1, I'm not interested.
Number 2, I don't have time.
Number 3, no way.
Number 4, I'm good.
Number 5, I'd rather not.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 又到我们1分钟的单元喽。那我们今天要用1分钟的时间来复习4个单字，同学们准备好没？1分钟计时开始。第一个单字呢，它可以当名词，也可以当动词，用来表达害怕、恐惧。这个字是什么呢？叫做 fear。Fear. Bob says he fears no man. He's not afraid of anyone. Bob 说他什么人都不怕。好，第二单字叫做结果。结果要怎么说啊？它是一个名词，叫做 result。The result surprised everyone. 那个结果让所有的人都很惊讶。好，第3个单字，它表达拒绝，是个动词。拒绝你可能会想到 refuse 那个字，我们来讲另外一个，这通常是有点像否决某个决定啊，否决某个法案或什么的，这叫做 reject。Helen rejected the job offer. Helen 拒绝那个工作机会。第4个单字，它表达向前的、往前的，这字叫什么呢？叫做 forward。它是一个副词哦。She leaned forward and rested her elbows on the table. 她把身体往前倾，然后把手肘靠在桌上。好，太好啦！我们在1分钟之内完成任务，顺利复习4个单词哦。同学们表现很棒，那记得也要多多复习。我们下次见，拜拜。